Why do parents put so much pressure on their kids to have babies? Not all parents are like that. My oldest, 21F, hates kids. She never wants to have any. And that will never change. I don't tell her that she is wrong. And will change her mind. She hates when someone tells her that. I respect her choice. Honestly, I'm relieved she doesn't want any. She would not be a good mother. My youngest, 20F, has a few chronic health problems. Some are hereditary. She loves kids and would love to have some. However, she doesn't want any because she doesn't want to pass on any illnesses. She remembers how her world changed at 14. I'm sad that she won't have any because she would make an amazing mother. But I respect her decision. I want to be a grandma, but I would never try to push my daughters to do anything for my own selfishness. Probably 'cause they want another baby but they're too old and or don't want to actually take care of another one. 25F, and not once have my parents even hinted at this. They're more concerned with me building the life I envision for myself, which right now means grad school. And they're in my corner. And my corner doesn't have room for kids. It's not that it will give your life purpose, it will give theirs purpose. You get all the joy of children in their lives, but none of the mess to clean up. My parents were frank and said they were concerned by not having children. No one will take care of me when I'm at old age. Makes sense. But I'm banking on robots to take care of me. I'm the parent. I'd love to have a grandchild, but never will, because my kid isn't willing to be a parent. I respect her choice and never bring it up. But it is a bit sad for me. Not going to lie. Parents who are badgering their kids for grandchildren or selfishly putting their own desire for a grandchild over their kid's right to decide to not be a parent. It's inappropriate behavior. It's weird. My parents don't do this and never would. But my grandparents and aunt do this to me. And random people at work who have kids. The fucked up thing is a lot of them did a shitty job as parents and have no right to tell anyone to have kids. It's totally normal and fine for parents to idly hope for grandchildren one day. But obviously the line is crossed when they start to actively pressure their adult children for them. My parents were always lovely and supportive of whatever I did in life, whether it was relationships, career, etc. In my late 20s, I started to ask them some hypothetical questions about what their experiences with raising babies and children were like. They answered all my questions in an open, positive and encouraging way, but never expressed like dismay or disappointment that I didn't have kids yet. When I announced my first pregnancy at the age of 31, my dad actually blurted out, "We've been waiting and waiting for this day and it has finally come." I was taken aback. Like, calm down, Dad. Quote. They are still really supportive, so I guess wanting grandchildren in a behind-the-scenes way is fine, but not to the point where it strains relationships due to actual pressure or manipulation tactics. Parents who do that lack basic emotional intelligence as well as basic respect for the humans they themselves have raised. Higher chance of an organ donor match. I think most everyone wants to, in a sense, continue their legacy. If you think about it, we're all part of a lineage that dates to the beginning of man. Also, people love kids, even more so when it's their kids. But your parents can't have kids anymore. What a better way to experience that nostalgic happiness than to have babies that you'd care for like your own, but don't have to watch over like your own. Evolution. I have been firm with my parents about my choice to not have kids. My mom was pretty good with it, but my dad would hint on occasion. My husband's parents were disappointed as well, but I really didn't care. I don't want children and never have. Though everyone has been respectful, just a little hopeful. The worst I've had it is from strangers saying I'll change my mind. No, I won't. Just stay firm. And just tell them you're not discussing it further. The idea that if your kids don't continue the family, it just kind of dies. Coming from someone who won't have children, mainly due to the economic burden it would have. So they can have asshole kids too. In my husband's family, some women are convinced that everyone's biological clock runs out by 30, and a lot of the women have children quite young. There is absolutely nothing wrong with having kids young. I'm only putting it here to show a difference with my family. For them, miscarriage and fertility issues are something almost to be embarrassed about. In my family, we tend to wait a little longer to have kids, and it's not strange for kids to be born mid-30s, early 40s. We also have honest conversations about fertility issues. His family is pushy about having kids. Mine is not. Knowing that we are not even considering kids until I finish grad school, I'll be about 27, is definitely killing some of them. So to get back to your question, I think that some of the push comes from bad info. Can't have kids past 30, for example. And family history, trends. Some people have more trouble than others when someone tries to break the mold. There's no reason for it. You can't want your kids to be happy and pressure them to have kids even though you know it will make them resentful and unhappy. So it boils down to selfishness, since they want it for themselves. They seem to be the only thing that gives purpose in life if you haven't bothered to find any other purpose. Parents with empty lives demand grandchildren. Buy them a pet. It will do the tricky in most of the cases. Another thing I don't get is this. My in-laws were so against us dating. Against everything about our relationship. They accused us of sleeping together, which we never did before marriage. They were terrified of her getting pregnant. Again, physically impossible. They honestly hated me. The day we get engaged, all of a sudden we're family. Then they're like, have kids ASAP. It's like, excuse me? To continue the line, and also because for many people, they found fulfillment in having a family and believe everyone else will as well. My grandmother dedicated her life to creating a family, and, in her eyes and words, that's what all normal women want. So if you don't want it, you aren't normal. The idea that a woman's biological purpose is to have and raise kids remains prevalent in many older generations.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. TooAfraidToAsk is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.